Everybody, I know. I think so. Yeah, I think it's good. No, not yet. I'll tell you what, though. I have found that those people that really want to uh, move into motion on this thing, they can really make a big hit financially. Have you've seen that too? Yeah, I've seen that too. Yeah. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Michael Chitwood International broadcast this evening. We are here live, and we're here right in. And I hope that you're able to really pick up on this tonight because I've got something really big that I need to share with you tonight. I want to give you a few minutes to come on to the broadcast tonight. Good evening to everyone, and welcome to Wealth Nuggets. This episode will be dealing with the things that you should do and the things that you shouldn't do. Now, there's a lot of people that say a lot of different things when it comes to this. Let me give you an example of something. I guess I better wait. They're giving me all kinds of signs. John, you want me to wait or not? Okay, they want me to wait. They said give everybody a few minutes to come on. Uh, Everybody doing good? Let me know where you're from tonight. When you type up a comment, just say you're from North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia, maybe Tennessee, and then maybe Kentucky. Wherever you are from, I'd like to know where you're from tonight, so I'd like to know that. There we go. California, Michigan, Michigan, Detroit, Michigan, Lansing, Michigan, Livonia, Michigan, Flint, Michigan. There we go. California there. We got Los Angeles, San Diego. Good. Charlotte, Birmingham, Alabama, by the way. There's Birmingham, Alabama there. Great. Great. We're glad that you're here with us this evening here on this special live broadcast. And we have a great deal of information to share with you tonight. And I want to share some things with you that I think will help you with your money. Now, you always have a lot of people that will always say that they don't like money. They don't like money, especially preachers. Preachers will always tell you up front they don't like money, but it's really what they want. Everybody wants money. And John's shooting me all kind of signs here. John, I'm not going to talk about that right now. John wants me to talk about something that's very controversial, and I'm not going to do it right now. I'm not going to do it right now. So can everybody hear me okay? If everybody can hear me okay, I'm ready to get started. I'm not going to just keep waiting on people to come on. They knew what time we started tonight. It started at 7 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock. So we're ready to get going here. Is the volume okay, everybody? One or two says turn up. Rita, is everything okay there? Rita White, one of my directors there. Debbie Booth, my executive broadcast director, has been there. We're going to be talking about money. We're not talking about teeth tonight, root canals. We're talking about money. Somebody type hashtag money on the screen real quick because I've got something big to share with you tonight, and this could explode around the world. 8.5 million people, 66 million direct connections. Those aren't indirect, by the way. Those are direct connections to Periscope. 66 million there. So we're glad that you're here tonight. Type hashtag money. Everybody type hashtag money. Don't be ashamed of it. You know it's what you want. You know it's what you need. You know it's what you desire. And I'm going to show you how to get some money. All right. Are we ready to go, everybody? The producer back there is giving me this sign. Thank you very much. Yes, ma'am. I see that sign. I see that sign. If you could only see the sign that she is giving me, you would be ready too. All right. She is saying get going now. Is that what that says? Get going now. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, well, what were you thinking? You're asking me what I was thinking. I'm asking you what you were thinking. All right, money, everybody. Money. Are we ready to go? We are ready to go. So listen, good evening to each and every one of you. Thank you for joining us on this special episode tonight. You know, we did 250 direct wealth coaching sessions last year. And in fact, 2 years ago, and we haven't done any this year except last Monday night we did one straight live from the broadcast studios there. So we are glad that you are with us tonight. Here's a guy that says a few thousand would be nice. What an idiot. I mean, what an idiot. I mean, man, he must be on food stamps. He must be one of those guys on food stamps or wanting money to go buy some liquor or maybe some money to go buy some Jordan Snickers. Yeah, that's it. That's probably it there. You're such an idiot. Listen, this is Michael Chitwood. We're glad to have you with us tonight. I want to talk to you about what the problem is. We have a problem looming in the United States of America. And the problem that we're dealing with, hey, Charlie, good to see you. David Alcrest, good to see you. At least my proteges aren't asking for a few thousand. What an idiot. Listen, I want to talk to you about this looming problem that we have. We have a looming problem. Now, you need to listen to me carefully. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to give you a bunch of bullshit, a bunch of bull. I'm going to give you the truth tonight. And if you'll follow these instructions, then you'll be one of the 1,028 millionaires. You'll be 1,029. You'll be 1,029 that will be rich, successful, wealthy, and you'll be happy, by the way. Man told me one time, he says, money won't make you happy. Yeah, but a lack of money won't either. So, sir, you are totally wrong. To become successful, you must continually, now this is our problem. I'm giving you the problem tonight. To become successful, you must continually expand your mind. Now, people can't spell these days. I'm not a great speller, but I hire people to do my proofing and my grammatical errors, my punctuation. But these days, our young millennials, they can't spell. I mean, at least I can spell cat and dog and money. I don't even think they can spell. They rely upon their Google or their correction thing. They're not expanding their mind. I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but the younger people, 25 and under, are not expanding their mind with financial information. They don't even teach you in the universities and the high schools anymore how to reconcile your bank account because they want QuickBooks to do it for you on their bank account reconciliation. Now, there's nothing wrong with software. There's nothing wrong with the computers, and everything's on computer. That's how I'm coming to you tonight, is by computer. But what I would like to say, if you don't take time to expand your financial mind, you are never, ever going to be successful. I don't care how much you watch preachers talk about prosperity. You watch me talk about the practical side of money, which you need both. God almighty. All right. They're already posting. They're already posting it up. I don't think I'm going too fast. Maybe they do. I mean, I don't know. I'm about ready to kick these people out of this room here. I mean, all I'm having is you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. I mean, why aren't you doing something? And after all, I pay you your check. You ought to, well, I pay you. Look, don't put up any more signs to me tonight. You understand that? If no, you're going to be out the door and you'll be on the side of a road looking for food with a sign around your neck. Now, let me get to this real quickly, okay? And maybe I was going a little bit too fast. Let me back up a little bit. Follow this carefully because I'm going to give you a wealth coaching seminar tonight that you've never had before. I've never taught this before in my life. Here we go. And you need to share this with your friends and tell them to get on here too. Okay? Because this is going to be an indictment. This is going to be an indictment against their future if they don't act now. It's going to be something that is not going to be good. All right, you ready to go? Let's go, everybody. I'm talking to you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, good evening to each and every one of you tonight. I'm talking to you about money tonight. Hashtag money is what I ask everybody to type onto the comment section. I want to talk to you about money, finances, money, wealth, success, wealth preservation, all those kind of things. Now, I don't know if you noticed or not, but what I've done a few days ago, I posted these fake millionaires that even fake Christians in the church, they want to look successful, but they owe for their car, they owe for their house, they owe for they're buying clothes that and putting it on a credit card just to make people think they're successful. That's not success. Ladies and gentlemen, success is not how much you make. It's how much you keep. How much are you saving? Now, we know that you've got to pay your tithe and all that stuff, but I'm talking about the practical side tonight. Yes, I'm talking about the practical side tonight. You just take the message on the cell phone, dear. I can't do it right now. I don't care if it's urgent. Take a message. God almighty, I don't know why we're having so much hell over this broadcast tonight. It must really be the need to get out there tonight. Y'all need to, those of you that know how to pray, I know we have a lot of sinners on here tonight, but those of you that know how to pray, you need to pray a little bit because we are having a bunch of hell on this broadcast tonight. Now, what I want to share with you is this, is that in order for you to ever, I don't care how much Bible you quote, and you know that I'm a Bible man. I'm a theologian. I know the Bible very well. I'm a horrible preacher, but I'm a very good theologian. I know the Bible very well. I don't know it maybe as well as some others, but I don't care how much you read the Bible and how much you pray for your wealth transfer. It's never going to happen if you do not gain financial knowledge. Two places simple. In Proverbs, Mike Murdoch talks about this all the time. In fact, he is one of the best on wisdom. He says, wisdom is the principal thing. I think it's Proverbs 4:7 or something like that. I don't memorize all these scriptures. The Proverbs says somewhere in there, it says, wisdom is the principal thing. But also in Hosea, it says somewhere, I don't know where it's at, it says that a lack of knowledge, you're going to be hurt. You're going to be destroyed. Something is going to come to your benefit. So here's what I want to talk to you about on the first session here. This is 30 minutes, so we got to roll here, okay? In order for you to become really successful, you need to have an expansion of your mind. In a world where everything is changing quick, it's changing quick for me. In a world that's changing quick, it's changing fast, you need to be wise as how to spend your thinking time. Now that's number one. You need to know how to expand and use your thinking time wisely. Somebody put that on the screen, number one, hashtag thinking time. You've never heard that anywhere else. You've heard people say that you need to think, but let me tell you this, your mind is not for storage. Your mind is for creativity. Now, in order for you to create, you have to have something in your mind to create from. So it's important, number one, that you have, number one, thinking time used wisely. Your thinking time must be used wisely. Now, let me give you a difference in that if I can. You have to understand that there's different ways to do different things. I'm going to show you tonight how to get money one way that other people may say that's not the best way for them. You have to think about it in your thinking time. Let me make you a note. Do you know that when millionaires get together, I'm looking at Stephen now, and Stephen has been a part of my life for many years. Great man, billionaire guy. I mean, the guy is just wealthy. But he uses a lot of his time for thinking time. But when we get together, do you know what we talk about? Write this down, number two. Millionaires talk about ideals and make things happen. This is very important. Millionaires, billionaires, people in that category, when they all get together, and most of the time they leave me out because I am not in their status by any means of anybody's stretch of the imagination. Millionaires talk about ideals, and they seem to make things happen, and they seem to want to make things happen. Now listen to this. The middle class people, which is maybe many of you. Now I'm not saying this to be critical of you. I'm saying this to try to help you. But millionaires talk about ideals, and they talk about how to make something happen. The middle class talk about things that they want to happen and things that they watch happening. The middle class is always watching something. Let me ask you a question. Do you know, they just handed me this, by the way. Do you know who buys more tabloid, the National Enquirer? What's some more of those? By the way, let me know where you're from tonight. When you pop up on the screen, I'd like to know where you're from tonight. Do you know what's some of those other tabloids? Anybody know those things? I don't read them, but I'm getting ready to give you a stat here that my producer just handed me. Thank you very much. Do you know who buys more tabloid magazines? Oregon. Yeah, the Oregon's right out there with us. Oregon. Carolyn. By the way, it's Carolyn. Hi, Oregon. Good to see you. People magazine. That's not really a tabloid, I don't think. I'm talking about those little magazines. National Enquiry from Texas. Charlie Austin. Blackpool, England. Hey there. Alexander. 715 Alexander. Blackpool, England. The Star. Yeah, the Star magazine is a tabloid magazine. The National Enquirer. Mexico. Good to see you there. Tennessee there. Roma Hamby. San Antonio, Texas. So you know who buys more of those things? It's the poor and the middle class. You know what they're doing? They're reading about millionaires. They're reading about stars. They're reading about people that are successful. Now, why do you, Florence, South Carolina? Good evening to you, sir. Reading these tabloids is you're just reading about the rich and famous, about their divorce, about their illegitimate kids, and that they got somebody pregnant before they got married. Yeah. But middle class is always talking about rich people. Minnesota, by the way. The poor and the middle class are always talking about rich people. And they find the information through tabloids. They just handed me this here, and I don't think listen to this. 84%, put that on the screen, somebody. 84% there is Laura Bush used to live in Florence, South Carolina. Florence is a beautiful little state from California and Washington State, soon Tennessee. That's what I'm talking about right there. Tabloids is living in mediocrity. Good word there. 84% of the middle class and poor people buy tabloids to read about the rich and famous and see what they're doing. Now, it's important for you to know that you don't need to be watching what's happening. You need to be the thing that is happening. Is anybody clear with me on that? By the way, this is the only place I could get coverage tonight. Other places is strong rain. I don't know if you've seen Washington, D.C. A lot of rain here, Washington, D.C. And so we had to move to a place that was centrally located. So why are you just talking about people that's rich? Why are you just talking about billionaires and how much, what's that guy's name that's a player I don't like? He used to play for Miami Heat, which is my team, but some guy, I forget the guy's name now, he's not even significant anymore. He's hurt. Anyway, he plays for California now, somewhere out there. But these guys, you're talking about how much they make for a movie. You're talking about how much they make for a contract for a ball team, a basketball team, or something like that. So what I want you to do is they talk about things. You talk about things like a brand new Ferrari, a brand new Dawn Rolls Royce, a brand new Phantom, a brand new Rave, a brand new Bentley, a brand new GT Bentley. I mean, this here is what they are doing. Instead of using your mind, well, Kevin Durant, I don't like him either, but this guy plays for L.A. Lakers, I think, or something. I don't know. So it's important that you understand that the middle class and the poor people are always talking about sports. They're talking about entertainment. They're talking about music. They're talking about someday I'm going to go on a big vacation. Do you know the only day that's not on the calendar? Your birthday's on the calendar. Martin Luther King's birthday's on the calendar. Christmas is on the calendar. New Year's on the calendar. Even Veterans Day is on the calendar. July 4th is on the calendar, which we just celebrated a salute to America with our president, Dr. Donald J. Trump. Up in Washington, D.C., President Donald J. Trump. Well, guess what? One day is not on the calendar. Can anybody guess? Can anybody type that on the screen tonight? I just like to know. Can anybody put up, there's one day that's not on the cotton picking calendar. And that day is someday you'll have your Cadillac. And someday you'll have your mansion. And someday you're going to have this. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to submit to you that someday is now. Now, all you have to do is learn the principles and the secrets that the rich and famous, most of them, won't tell you. I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to show it to you. Now, are you ready? Here we go. Let me say this. You know, you understand that millionaires own most of the car companies. You understand that millionaires own sports teams. You don't find someone poor owning a sports team. Millionaires produce movies. Millionaires produce television shows. Millionaires produce the music. Millionaires own the vacation spots. And the middle class spends its money on the things that were created by millionaires. You, the middle class, when you go on vacation, you're giving your money to the hotel that's owned by the millionaire. Now, watch this. Let's look real close at something here that I think will give you an insight to what I believe will be something that will help you with this. Now, watch this carefully. People who are easily impressed with others are often insecure and confused about what they want in life. Now, here's number two. You ready? You remember number one? You have to have thinking time. Number two, Most people can't get what they want, the new Ferrari, the new Lamborghini. Yes, I'm going to talk about those. That's what you ought to have on your refrigerator instead of Bible verses. Your Bible verses have been there for 30 years and you're immune to them. You pass by them and they have no meaning to you now. It did at first, and the Word of God is everlasting. You know that. But you've got Bible verses on your screen that mean nothing to you. It's just like taking Tylenol 4 times a day for your headache. Pretty soon your headache is not going to react to your Tylenol pills. First of all, you should pray about it. Here's what I want to get to real quick. Are you ready? Here's what I want to get to. Number 2, you have to make sure that in this environment that we live, and I'm reading this out of my book, by the way. By the way, you need to get that book. You need to get 40 Millionaire Success Strategies. Volume 2 is going to be out very soon. You have to understand today that in this process, number 2, somebody give me number 2. Somebody give me number 2. You have to understand that you have to be knowing what you want. Most people don't get what they want because they don't know what they want. You see a car drive by, you'll say, oh yeah. You see a car drive by, you say, oh yeah, I want that Lamborghini. I want that Ferrari. Somebody put that on the screen. Let's see if you can do that. Put hashtag, scoot, move out of the way. Move out of the way, please. Please move out of the way. Yeah. Okay, I'm watching the big monitor up there. I'm not watching this one. I'm watching that one. It's very important because this is blank right now. Watch the top one up there. Real quick. It's very important for you to understand that I want you to put on the screen right now, hashtag Lamborghini. Number 1, you have to have thinking time. Number 2, you got to know what you want. So somebody type hashtag Lamborghini. Hashtag Lamborghini. Laura Bush has got it up there quick. Lamborghini. Somebody put Ferrari. Hashtag Ferrari. Somebody put hashtag Mercedes. Somebody put hashtag Bentley. Come on, let's go. Let's get with this. Somebody put hashtag Rolls Royce. The problem is you're afraid to write those words. You're afraid to write that. I've owned Lamborghinis before. I don't particularly like them. They're too low to the ground, hurt my knee, so I wouldn't have one. I don't have one now. I don't want one. But you need to learn what you want. You've got to be able to say and speak what you want. That's why that I've told you before. Catherine, you let me have it. Bring it in. I'll read it right now. Bring it to me. Listen, it's important that we have a whole staff of people here, by the way, in Washington. Listen, it's important you understand that you will never be able to get what you want if you don't know what you want. My God, I wish I could get somebody tonight to give me at least one little heart. I am working hard. I may be speaking too fast, but so what? You can watch the broadcast again if you desire to. Number 2 is you got to know what you want. Ferrari, Lamborghini. Somebody said, well, I want a BMW. Everybody's got a BMW. Why would you want a BMW? A man told me the other day, we were sitting in a restaurant. We were sitting in Casa D'Angelo's. He says, one of my church members just got a brand new BMW. And I told him, I said, well, everybody's got a BMW. Why do you want a BMW for? I don't even like the name of it, BMW. Anybody drive a BMW? There's a Maserati. There you go. I could go for one of those. Anybody drive a BMW out there? Anybody at all drive a BMW? I don't even like the words BMW. Now, let me move to number 3 here just a minute, okay? One of the biggest problems that we have, and this more or less radiates from the church world. I'm not being critical. I'm just telling you the truth. I've got 8,000 churches, 8,113 churches. So I know a little bit about pastors and churches and church workers and Christians. I could really move there, but I'm not going to move there tonight. I'm trying to be nice because I would like to have a pretty good number next week because sometimes I get a little bit out of control. Number 3, I'm going to give you 5 tonight. Number 3, one of the biggest problems that we have. Hi, Carolyn. Yeah, my executive producer, Debbie Booth, just put up hashtag billionaire. So a lot of you can't even get that word out of your mouth. Billionaire. Billionaire. Millionaire. Millionaire. Billionaire. Number 3, the biggest problem that we have and it radiates from the church world, respectfully. Because I've got 8,000 churches, I wouldn't dare criticize preachers. I love preachers. Number 3 is that you have a habit of criticizing other people that have more than you have. You're always criticizing other people. I'm having to look up at the monitor because this one's coming and going, so bear with me. If I'm looking over you, it's not that I mean to. I'm looking at the big monitor they have here, the big, huge monitor. Must be a 50 or 60, I don't know, maybe 100 foot. I don't know how big it is. You can't continue to have a spirit or an attitude of criticism against others. I don't know if I told you this, but when I got my very first Rolls Royce, I bought Ted Turner's car because he is getting ready to marry Jane Fonda. And he was in Atlanta, and he was buying Jane Fonda a white-on-white Corniche, which is the last year that they made these, 1993. He was trading in his Spur, which was Magnolia, which was the color, the standard color, the most popular color for Rolls Royces was a Magnolia. It had Magnolia on the outside and light Magnolia interior, trimmed in a nice cream piping. And I was there buying his car. I take the car to Chattanooga, and the first thing that happened to my car, I was at a red light at a place in Chattanooga. Does anybody know where, now it's a place called Bud's. It's across from Chick-fil-A, which, by the way, I love Chick-fil-A. You guys need to eat it. I've never eaten there before, but I love what these, what they believe in, and we should support those that believe what we believe, I believe, don't you? Right across from Bud's is Chick-fil-A, and right there at that red light, does anybody know where Bud's is at in Chattanooga? Anybody in here from Chattanooga or not? Yeah, there's Hamby, Roma Hamby, one of my executive so at Bud's, there was a guy that rolled his window down, and he got the biggest spitball that you could ever see. Mary Albert, she knows where it's at. Booth knows where it's at. Potter says she knows. Potter, you haven't been there. How do you know? How do you know that? So he spit on my side window of my car. Now, do you think he's ever going to be able to go anywhere? I don't think so. I don't think so. And it was a mess. I mean, I don't know. He must have had food or something in his mouth. It's horrible. I had to go up the road and go to the service station and get it off. It was horrible. But he had this jealousy thing that you have to learn to praise people when they get something, because if you don't know how to praise people when they've got something more than you, you'll never be able to have people to praise you. It doesn't work that way. So you have to move forward. Now, number 4, it's important that we understand that one of the most important things, now, let me give you, number 1 was what? Thinking time. That's very important. Number 2 is you have to what? What was number 2? Somebody give me number 2. I want to make sure you're getting this because this is very important. I'll be taking your emails a little bit later. But number 2 was stop what? What was number 2? You have to know what you want. Stop being indecisive about what you want. Somebody said number 2 is going to Chick-fil-A. You're probably right. So number 1, you need some thinking time. Number 2 is you need to know what you want. Write it down. I've taught for years. I've made 1,028 millionaires with the help of the Lord and their hard work, by the way. In fact, I'd rather put that first, really. God gave them the ability. They worked, and then God honored it, the way I'd like to put it. So you got to know what you want. And number 3, stop criticizing people that have more. I don't criticize Bill Gates. I didn't criticize Steve Jobs for creating Amazon. I mean, my Lord, how can you create men that have created something like this? I mean, it just... Number 4, let me give number 4. Oh, we're just about out of time. Number 4, you have to change your vocabulary. That's what we just talked about. You have to change your vocabulary. You can't keep talking about you want a Pinto or you want a Vega. You got to start talking about what you want. So you have to change. Talking about your ideals requires a different vocabulary than the middle class uses. Many of you on this broadcast are middle class, but you're here because I sincerely love your dream, love your passion, and I want to help you. There's nothing in, I did 2,500 hours. There's not another man on the face of the earth that's done 2,500 direct coaching hours, taking your phone calls and your requests like I have. Why did I do that? I didn't get any money from you on it. I didn't ask for any money. I did it because I'm sincerely interested in your dreams and your passion, and I know the seeds of greatness that's inside of you. I know that. So you've got to change your vocabulary. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about cars here. Follow me and type these words down. Man, you need to change your vocabulary to the word possible instead of impossible. Come on, put these down. I need these on the screen quickly, real quick. Come on, get your fingers going. You need to change your words from possible, change your words to possible instead of impossible. Change your words to I can't to I will. Are you getting these down? Change your words, your vocabulary from I can't to I will. Can somebody just put up on the screen right now? Can somebody just put up on the screen right now? Hashtag I will. Hashtag I will. I need somebody to put on the screen right now. Huh? Yep. Now, let me do this because I'm running out of time and they want. So number 4 is what? What is number 4? Give me number 4, everybody. Change your vocabulary. You change it from I can't to I will. You change it from impossible to possible. By the way, if you're not following me on Twitter, you need to be with that, and Facebook. A lot of new stuff on there, a lot of new things. It's free. You want to go there, and also keep checking megamichael.com because something big is getting ready to happen. Let me mention this. We have had over 60,000. I find that hard to believe. You sure that's not a mistake? 60,000? That's a lot. I don't know if I believe that number. Can somebody check that real quick? Rita, can you check that, or somebody check that? They say 60,000. I don't believe that's true. Concerning this Starbucks deal, I posted what we did at our A&W Root Beer Restaurant Drive-Ins when we owned the A&W Root Beer Restaurant Drive-Ins. Somebody put hashtag, man, I can't keep my hair down. Put A&W, hashtag A&W Root Beer Float. Let me see how, are y'all working on this tonight, or y'all just fooling around? You need to get going and quit screwing around with this thing and get moving with it. Come on, let's go. Put hashtag root beer, A&W root beer float. Hashtag A&W root beer float. There we go. Meredith Chitwood did it. Laura Bush did it, except Laura, you shouldn't put a space between the W and the R and the, all right, I want it all together is what I wanted. Mary Albert got it perfect. When you put hashtags, you don't put spaces because it breaks the hashtag. There we go. Alexander, you got it wrong. You got A-N-W root beer. It's and, the word ampersand or and. So now they want me to talk about Starbucks, about how that these policemen were kicked out of a Starbucks coffee because the customers, or maybe it was the employees, I don't really know. The employees felt threatened. Anybody heard of the Starbucks coffee policeman matter? Anybody heard of that? Just type yes if you can, please. Yes, real quick. Yes, real quick. Now, let me tell you what we did at the A&W Root Beer Restaurant. We had a lot of policemen that would come and eat. As you know, it was a drive-in. The girls would go out and take a tray to get hamburgers, french fries, onion rings. You could even get a T-bone steak if you wanted it, but many people didn't do that. Yes, Charlie has, Ann Hume, high-end, Chitwood, Meredith. Anybody's had an A&W. We used to own all the A&W Root Beer Restaurant drive-ins. I worked there as I was 10. When I was 10 years of age, frosting root beer mugs. That was my job. I'll tell you about it some other time. But all the policemen, not all of them, many of the policemen would come by weekly and eat there. I saw them. I had a great respect for the police officers in law and order. And our policy is that we always gave them all of their food free of charge. We never charged a police officer anything for food. Now you can say, well, Black lives matter, blue lives matter, white lives matter, all lives matter. You say whatever you want to say. That was our policy back in 67, 68, 69, 70, back in those years. We respected police officers and law and order. So we gave them all of their food free. Anybody like that? Anybody think we did good? And it wasn't really expensive back in those days. I mean, you could get a burger for $4. You could get a root beer for $2, I guess, and onion rings for a couple of bucks. Your whole meal was $10. And I guess our cost factor might have been $6, the cost of goods sold. But we wanted to appreciate the law officer. Also, if we had a fight on the parking lot, let me tell you something, Jack. They were the first ones there. If they were working an accident, they would drop the accident to come to the A&W Root Beer Restaurant, 3620 Ringo Road, where I worked. 3620 Ringo Road, 37412, East Ridge, Tennessee. Now, my question, what they want me to ask, because I need to answer these 60,000 emails, which is an ungodly amount of emails. I don't even believe it's true. Are you checking on that or not? Because I'd like to tell them the truth. I don't believe, maybe 6,000, but 60,000, it sounds impossible to me. I don't know. Just check it out and see. I don't want to tell something that's not true. How many of you think that the Starbucks people did right? They don't even feel any remorse for it. They don't care. I don't go to Starbucks. I don't buy anything from Starbucks, period. Nothing. I don't like Starbucks. Well, maybe you do, but I don't. So I'll ask you. That's what they want me to do right here on this page. Right here's the question right there. See that? That's the question right there. How many of you think that Starbucks did right by kicking the policeman out of the Starbucks place? Yes, if you think it's right. No, if you think it was wrong. They want you to give a response, okay? There, not a fan, Debbie Booth, not a fan of Starbucks. Yeah, no, they were wrong. You got to say who was wrong. Either the police were wrong or Starbucks was wrong. You're not making yourself clear. That's one reason why you don't have anything is you got to make your dream clear. You have to write the vision and make it clear. You can't do it halfway. Okay, so you'll have to replay this broadcast. We have 8.5 million people here. You have to replay it. We have 8.5 million people. 8.5 million people, right? Right. And then you have 67 million direct connections on Periscope. So you'll have to do that yourself. All right, okay, we got one more here and then we're gone. So you need to answer that if you care to. And by the way, if you don't want to answer it, don't answer it. If you want to keep supporting Starbucks, then keep supporting Starbucks. That's your business. We don't normally get into the politics here. Whew. Okay. Let me give you one more. That'll be 5. Have you heard this? I love this. Have you heard that no weapon formed against you shall prosper? How many's heard that say yes? How many's heard that say yes? Hashtag yes, real quick. Come on, real quick. Dunkin' Donuts, that's my favorite place. That's where I go. So yes. Hamby, Meredith Chitwood, Booth, Laura, Jenny Lee, Bluebird, yes. Everybody, Charlie, yes. There it is. So everybody has said yes. Well, guess what? In a survey recently, we asked a trick question. Some of you may have gotten it. We asked a nice, simple, trick question. And do you know that, was it 90% of it? Oh, it's here? Okay. Where is it? I don't see. Oh, it's on the next page. I didn't know that 2 pages here. There, I tell you what, we've caught a lot of hell over this broadcast tonight. I don't know why. But how would I know there's 2 pages here if they were stuck together? I mean, how would anybody know? I'm not a magician. I'm not a mind reader. I'm not a psychic fortune teller. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Now, one, I teach, there's going to be weapons formed. But the Bible says that no weapons, plural, no weapons formed. So we know there's going to be weapons. If it had to been weapons, he said, hey, don't worry about it, there'll never be any weapons. He didn't say that. He said, no weapons formed against you shall prosper. Oh my God, I felt that. Did anybody feel that? Did anybody feel that right then? No weapon formed against you. There's going to be some weapons formed, but there's no weapon formed against you that shall ever prosper. But in this trick question survey, it's a nice question, but many of you took it. I saw some of your names. Many of you took it and you failed. And I'll tell you what, by the answer to that survey that we gave out under 212, R212, check your email, by the way. If you haven't opened it yet, could have gone to junk, but check your email. We sent out, I think it's an email blast, so maybe 100,000 or more. I don't know how many it was. Debbie could tell you, 100,000 or more, I guess. R212 asked you a question. It was a trick question. And most of you failed it. In fact, 91% of you guys failed that question. It was a trick question, and it turned out to be that most people's weapon is their own self, their own mouth, and their own tongue. Number 5. Stop being the weapon against you. Stop being the weapon against you. Sometimes you are your worst enemy and the worst weapon. Let's review quickly. Time's up. I got to go. 1. Somebody type number 1 on the screen. Number 1 is what? You have to have number 1. Come on. Come on, let's go. I need you. Hello from Pakistan. You need to be here in America, sir. Or ma'am. Number 1, you have to have thinking time. Thank you, Mary Albert. You're on the ball. Thinking time. Number 2. Number 2 was what? You have to make sure that you are secure in what you want. There it is right there. Meredith Chitwood, good job. Know what you want. I'm being rejected. I don't know what that means, Penny. Right now we're in a test. Number 3. Number 3. You have to what? Number 3. What was number 3? You have to tell me. I've got them in a book here. All I have to do is read the book. What is number 3? You can see why that. Sometimes, hi Donna Thompson, good to see you tonight. That took forever. Stop criticizing people that have more than you have. By the way, at the ICCM conference this year, there's a big jet. A big jet. That's all I'm going to say. You need to be there to see this jet. And this jet can be yours. If you believe that you can have it, you can have it. But what you can't do is criticize the guy that's getting ready to give it. You can't criticize the guy that's getting ready to give it. Number 3, stop criticizing wealthy people, billionaires, millionaires, and stop criticizing people in the church that's got a better car than you've got. Because if you learn these secrets that the rich and famous won't tell you sometimes, I promise you that you can change your life. You can be successful and wealthy, happy, and heaven. Number 4, somebody. Tell me number 4. Change your vocabulary. Very important. Change it from impossible to possible. Change it from I can't to I can or I will. Number 5. Somebody give me number 5 real quick. Number 5, because you're on your way in this wealth coaching to becoming a millionaire. I'm going to show you how to do it. I got to get you expansion of your mind first. Number 5, somebody give it to me. Stop being a weapon of mass destruction against yourself. I'm going to tell you what I believe. These preachers are going to criticize me. I know that. And I'm not against any of these guys. I love all these ministers of the gospel. They're great people doing what God's called them to do. When it says, and I don't know where it's at. I think it's somebody said it's 54:17. I don't memorize all these scriptures like you do. My mind is not for storage. My mind is to read and creativity. See, when a preacher gets up and starts quoting all these scriptures, you really think he's anointed. No, he just memorized the scriptures. Nothing wrong with memorizing the scriptures if you want to. Why do you think it said that no weapons, that's plural, no weapons formed against you shall prosper? What do you think he meant by weapons? I'd like to see your comment. What do you think he meant by weapons? I'm going to tell you what I think. This is just a personal opinion. Call Dr. Murdoch. Call Jack Hayford. Call I don't know, Steve Muncie. Call some of these guys and ask them. I don't know. You know the biggest weapon against you is yourself. Every day you're creating weapons of mass destruction against your future. Every day, oh my God, I feel the power. Every day you're creating weapons of mass destruction against your future, against your family. You tell your family, you'll never make it. You'll never make it through high school. You'll never write a book. You'll never be successful. You're lousy. You're worthless. Weapons of mass destruction. That's what I think he meant when he wrote the words, no weapons formed against you shall prosper. At least you'll have to admit it's a good thought process, because you're not going to have everybody in the world coming against you. Just because you have a flat tire, that doesn't mean that you have a weapon against you or you're overdrafted at the bank. Well, the devil's got me in bad shape at the bank. No, you got yourself in bad shape at the bank. You don't overdraft and you don't spend more on your credit cards than you're supposed to. Type that on the front screen now. Hashtag, don't spend too much on credit cards. Don't spend something just because you like it. Spend it if it's in the budget. I used to teach this in my Master Your Finance conferences. By the way, you're going to see that on July the 23rd through July the 28th. I hope that you'll be with me in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Go to iccmworldwide.org. I have to go. iccmworldwide.org. I'll be right there waiting for you July the 23rd through the 28th, mainly on the 2 days for you, July 23rd and 24th. Embassy Suites, Marriott Courtyard, and then this Me Too hotel that they put in there. There's some kind of Me Too hotel. If you want to stay there, the rates are real good. They're $99. No, it's not Me Too. It's what is that thing called? It's called something. I don't know what it's called. It's like a Me Too deal or something. But home for me, or something like that. I don't know. It's important you understand, ladies and gentlemen. If you write a check and you don't have the money in the bank, you will have a insufficient check, an overdraft, and an overdraft charge. That's how the bank makes billions of dollars, is in your overdraft charges, which is about $35 for every bad check you write. My God, I can't get any witnesses tonight. I can't get any hearts. Sure not going to get any super hearts off of that. It's a good thing I'm not taking an offering, because I probably wouldn't get much tonight. By the way, thank you very much for sponsoring iPaul. Those of you that's bringing in our students from 13 to 21, thank you for your contribution that you gave to iPaul. We still have a few that's needed, but I'll leave that with you. And this is not what that's about tonight. Don't forget, July the 23rd through July the 28th, I'll be right there in Chattanooga, Tennessee at the ICCM World Renowned Theater. I want you there. I want you there. Mary Albert says her bank charges $36. What a ripoff. Well, you know what? We have churches that we do their envelopes for, millions of churches that we do their envelopes for. And you know what they do? They have somebody writes a $10 check. One of the members write a $10 check, and it costs the church $36 because it's a bad check. I don't think that's good stewardship. It's not the church's fault. It's because no one's ever taught the members of the church about how to balance a checkbook, and you don't write a check if you don't have the money in the bank. You don't put more on your credit card than you can afford to pay back. In other words, you don't ever invest more than you can afford to lose. All right, I'm done. I'll get better at this. I promise you. Because I was very good on the 2,500 hours, but you have to give me a chance to get back up to speed. I will get better. In fact, Debbie Booch just reminded me of something. We were here right in Fort Lauderdale a day or two ago. I guess it was 2 or 3 days ago. We were here, and then we saw the floods in Washington D.C. There, I mean, it's horrible here. But anyway, in Fort Lauderdale when we were there, we had an explosion out there at the LA Fitness Center. I mean, we had our chaplains there. If you want to be a certified chaplain, if you feel called to be that, then you need to go to the American Association of Registered Chaplains. It's the only one in the world that's certified worldwide. You get your badge, you get your number, you get your federal identification, you get everything that you need. You need to, if you feel led to be a chaplain. Anybody feel that tonight? Anybody feel like you? Listen, there's going to be these things happening. They said it's an explosion. But I'll tell you this right now, I had a secret word that maybe it wasn't an explosion, maybe it wasn't an explosion. Let me say the right words. Maybe it wasn't an explosion. Anybody hearing that? They're still investigating, and they're going through all of the debris and rubble. Maybe that's a word. I don't know. One person thinks it's something else, but if you want to be a part of the American Association of Registered Chaplains, then you need to go to iccmworldwide.org. And many of you need to get your ministerial credentials now before they put in all these federal rules. They're horrible. They've been on the table for 3 years. So if you feel like that you want to be an ordained or licensed minister of the gospel, an evangelist, this is just for a few of you. It's not for all of you. But I felt led that I wanted to mention that to you tonight. We'll record, by the way, all your answers on the Starbucks question we asked. So you think they did right, you think they did wrong by kicking out the police at the Starbucks business. And by the way, don't forget, we want to pray for California and all those tremors and what do you call those things? After effects or something? Yeah, it's bad. It's bad in Florida. It's bad down in Florida down there. They tell me. My man in Florida, on the ground in Florida, said it's an explosion out there. Plus, they think it's something else. You can get your ministerial credentials with iccmworldwide.org. You can get your American Association of Registered Chaplains with iccmworldwide.org. And you can also give to iPaul on there if you choose to. That's not about that tonight, but I had to say that because they're shooting me a sign on the big screen there that says iPaul International Preachers Academy Worldwide. Thank you. And by the way, y'all did a good job despite all the turmoil and the turmoil that we went through tonight. All of them did a good job. In fact, you guys that's watching tonight, you should give them a shout out and say, hey, good job tonight. Somebody say hashtag good job real quick. Hashtag good job, everybody. Thank you for being with me this evening here. I care about your dream. I care about your vision. I care about you. In fact, I'll tell you something. You are very important to me. In fact, I would say it like this. You may be one of the most important. It's important that I help you achieve your dream. I wish somebody put that on the screen. It's a very important word. Hashtag achieve the dream. ATD. ATD. By the way, they're putting on the screen for you, Rita and John and Becky and all of you guys that's here. Thank you very much. Good job. They're putting on the screen, by the way, good job, good job. And I'll get better. Just bear with me. But right now I want you to put achieve the dream. Hashtag achieve the dream. Achieve the dream. ATD. It's my job. God has called me to help you achieve your dream. You got to have a dream. You got to know what you want. You got to make sure that you are putting something down realistic. Achieve the dream. I'm passionate about you. I'm in love with your dream. There's nothing better than for me to see your dream. We've opened up more millionaires, 1,028. 1,028 millionaires. Boutique shops, Italian restaurants. One guy now has a movie theater in Tulsa, owns a bank, and 2 or 3 Italian restaurants. I read that on screen last year, I think it was. This is an opportunity for you to change your life. We're not seeking and we're not serving and we're not going after money first. We never have. What I want you to always remember is that you always put God first in every part of your life. Everything. We let our money serve us. You got to be a generous giver, and you give to whoever you want to give to. But right now, I'm telling you about that we don't put money first. I am in love with your dream. I can make it happen. I have never been a part of the Excuse Club. I'm a member of the Make It Happen Club. And if you really want me to make it happen for you, your future, your family, your life, where that you can stay in the Ritz-Carlton and the Four Seasons in a nice hotel, where you can really, it's not a pie in the sky. Don't think that. Get that out of your head. The devil just put that in Becky's head right then. Get it out. You can see yourself driving a Lamborghini. In fact, you ought to go get a car and put it on your refrigerator. Say, this is my Lamborghini. Get the color you want, red, green. Get you a Ferrari, put it on the thing for you younger people. I'm older. I don't want those cars. They're too low. Get the car you want. Put it on your refrigerator. I'll make it happen for you. I know how to make it happen. I'll expand your mind. I'm back. This is Michael Chitwood. And I want you to know I am back. And I look forward to seeing each and every one of you next Monday at 7 p.m. That's where it's going to happen. Remember, when you want something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. And now's the time to start. Thank you for being a part of the Wealth Nuggets tonight. This is season number 2, and it's going to get better. I'll see you next Monday, 7 p.m. Same place, same time.